Plate number 1. The composition of the Earth and the movements of the Earth's crust. The Earth is a part of the solar system, which consists of planets and celestial bodies orbiting the Sun. There are 8 major planets in the solar system, each at different distance to the Sun. In order of increasing distance, these are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. In our TaTaBook, we explore the fascinating aspects of our home planet, Earth. Earth is also called the blue planet because oceans make up a large part of the Earth's surface. Until 600 before Christ, it was believed that the Earth was flat. Nowadays, we know that it is almost spherical. At the polar caps, you find them at the top and bottom of a globe. It is flattened. Our Earth is constantly changing, and its present form is the result of a long transformation that began more than 4 billion years ago. At first, there was a cloud of dust and gas that created the Sun. The planets were formed from increasing amounts of dust and rocks. In the first phase of formation, the surface of our Earth was extremely hot. Then it cooled and the Earth's surface solidified. A gaseous envelope was formed, the atmosphere. There are clouds in the atmosphere. Their water, like that of the oceans, rivers, lakes, groundwater, snow, and ice, is part of the hydrosphere. The water in the hydrosphere is in constant exchange. Clouds absorb evaporated water, transport it and release it elsewhere as rain or snow. Rainwater or thawed snow runs off into streams and rivers, and their water ends up back in the sea sooner or later. Earth is one of the rocky planets with a solid structure. There are also planets that do not have a solid structure, such as Jupiter, which is a gas planet. Earth has the highest density of all planets. This means that compared to its volume, Earth is very heavy. To help you understand, picture a big rock and a piece of cotton candy that are both the same size, but the rock will be way heavier. This will give you an idea of what it means. Our planet consists of 3 basic parts, from the Earth's surface towards the Earth's interior. These are the Earth's crust, the Earth's mantle and the Earth's core. The top layer is the Earth's crust, on which the entire biosphere of the Earth is located, the so-called living shell of the Earth. It is an area inhabited by living organisms as we all know it around us. Because of its size, we cannot see it with the naked eye, but the Earth's crust is like a cracked egg shell, and the composition of the Earth is the egg itself. The crust is divided into continental and oceanic crust, which differ in thickness. The continental crust is on average 40 kilometers thick, while the oceanic crust, which forms the ocean floor, is thinner and on average only about 7 kilometers thick. The Earth's mantle is up to 2,900 kilometers thick, which is about the distance between Vienna and Iceland. The upper part of the mantle moves with the Earth's crust to create the lithosphere, a layer of tectonic plates that moves gradually on the layer beneath, as if they are floating. Currently, scientists recognize 7 big and various small lithospheric plates. However, they don't match the exact shapes and sizes of individual continents. The Earth's mantle consists of different layers of depth. Right after the lithosphere, there is the asthenosphere. The layer beneath the surface of the Earth's crust is incredibly hot, containing molten and incandescent rock. This part of the Earth's mantle plays a crucial role in the movement of the tectonic plates. Without this movement, the Earth's crust would be unable to continuously renew itself. Where tectonic plates meet, the Earth is more active. The plates collide, move away from each other, or rub against each other, and this movement causes many tectonic events such as earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and mountain formation. The inner part of the Earth is formed by the Earth's core, which is located approximately in the center of our planet and makes up about 31% of its mass. We divide the core into the inner and outer core. The inner core is solid and the outer core is liquid. It is almost as hot as the surface of the Sun, about 5,000 degrees Celsius, making it the hottest part of our planet. It is twice as dense as the mantle. If you took a teaspoonful, the contents would weigh as much as a breakfast egg. Each year, the Earth's core rotates between 1 and 3 degrees more than its semi-liquid shell and the rest of the planet. The majority of the Earth's core consists of heavy metals such as iron, nickel, and chromium. The first 2 are the most abundant. The outer core also includes cobalt, sulfur, and silicon. Together, the Earth's crust, mantle, and core make up the geosphere. When we read about planets, including Earth, we often see words such as probably and presumably. When we look at the information we get about how big, how heavy, and how far away they are, the numbers vary a lot. This is because the exploration of some parts of the planet is not possible due to the complexity of it. Taking samples or measuring certain aspects is not always feasible. Despite enormous technological progress, most of our planet is still inaccessible to us. The science that deals with the composition, structure, and historical development of the Earth is called geology. Geology is the study of the Earth's interior and surface. Geology itself is very broad and divided into many areas. Geologists are interested in the composition of the Earth. They explore it by drilling as far down as they can. This enables them to investigate deep layers of rock. But geologists also look for oil and mineral deposits and discover sources of groundwater. The deepest hole ever drilled by man is 12 kilometers deep. It can be found on the Kola Peninsula in Russia. The Earth's land mass is divided into continents. These include the America, which can be divided into North and South America, as well as Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia, and Antarctica. We could define a continent as a huge, continuous land mass surrounded by the world's oceans. If you examine the world map closely, you will notice that Africa and North and South America fit together like pieces of a puzzle. This is not random, but has a reason. In the past, 250 million years ago, all continents were connected and formed a supercontinent called Pangaea. This name comes from the Greek and means whole Earth. It was a single mass of land encircled by the ocean. Around 200 million years back, Pangaea split into two parts, Laurasia in the north and Gondwana in the south. The continents separated and Pangaea gradually broke apart. After Pangaea split into two parts, they later split again and formed the shapes we know today. Except that at that time the continents were even closer together. The mantle beneath the original location of Pangaea was more heated than the rest of the Earth and therefore bulged upwards. For this reason, what is now Africa is several dozen meters higher than other continents. Over time, continents have changed in their appearance and distance from each other, and they still do so. We do not notice it, but it is measurable. The continents are moving in different directions, although very slowly. Every year, North and South America move a few centimeters away from Europe and Africa. This widens the Atlantic and makes the Pacific smaller.